something. Every single thing you see around you right now, somebody imagined it first. That phone in your pocket, somebody saw that in their mind before it existed. That car you drive, that building you work in, somebody dreamed it up. So why do you think your dreams are any less valid? Think about this for a second. Before the airplane existed, people said humans would never fly. They called the Wright brothers crazy. They said it was impossible. But those brothers saw something in their imagination that nobody else could see. They saw themselves in the air. They saw machines with wings. They saw what everybody else said could not exist. And they held on to that vision until it became reality. Your imagination is showing you previews all the time. When you daydream about that business, that is not random. When you see yourself on that stage, in that house, with that degree, your mind is showing you where you could go. But most of you are treating these previews like they are just entertainment. Like they are just nice thoughts to pass the time. No, these are blueprints. These are assignments. These are possibilities trying to download into your reality. The problem is that we have been taught to dismiss our imagination. We have been taught that real life is what we see with our physical eyes, and imagination is just make believe. But I am here to tell you that everything you see with your physical eyes right now was once invisible. It was once just a thought. It was once just imagination. So your imagination is actually more real than your current circumstances because your current circumstances are temporary, but your imagination is showing you what is possible. You know what is wild? You will spend 2 hours watching somebody else's imagination on a movie screen. You will binge, watch an entire series that came from somebody else's creative mind. You will play video games that exist because someone imagined them. But when it comes to your own imagination, you give it 5 minutes, and then you say it is time to be realistic. You are investing more time in other people's dreams than your own. Here is what I need you to get. If you can see it in your mind, it is already real on some level. It exists in the realm of possibility. Your job is not to figure out if it is real. Your job is to figure out how to bring it from the invisible into the visible, from the imagination into manifestation, from the preview into the feature film of your life. Stop treating your imagination like it is less important than your current reality. Your current reality is based on your past imagination and your past beliefs. If you want a different reality tomorrow, you need a different imagination today. You need to start seeing things that do not exist yet. You need to start believing in visions that other people cannot see. That is how everything great gets created. From the time you were young, people told you to be realistic. Get a safe job. Don't take risks. Stop dreaming so much. And you know what happened? You started believing that mess. You started thinking that your imagination was a liability instead of your greatest asset. Let me take you back to when you were a kid. Remember when someone asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up? You said astronaut. You said president. You said inventor. You said movie star. You had no limits. You believed you could be anything. But then what happened? Adults started laughing. They started saying, well, that is nice, honey, but what do you really want to do? They started adding the word realistic to every conversation about your future. Teachers told you to have a backup plan. Parents told you to choose something stable. Society told you to fit in and follow the path. And little by little, year by year, that big imagination you had got shrunk down, got compressed, got squeezed into a box labeled realistic expectations. And now you are an adult walking around with dreams the size of a mustard seed when you were born with the capacity to imagine universes. This programming goes deep. It is in the schools that teach you to memorize instead of create. It is in the jobs that want you to follow procedures instead of innovating. It is in the culture that celebrates playing it safe instead of taking bold moves. Everywhere you turn, the message is the same. Stay small. Stay comfortable. Stay in your lane. Don't get too big for your britches. Don't reach too high or you might fall. But here is what they don't tell you. The people who are giving you this advice, where are they in life? Are they living their dreams? Are they fulfilled? Are they waking up excited about their day? Or are they stuck scared and settling? Most of the time, people who tell you to be realistic are people who gave up on their own imagination. And misery loves company. They don't want you to dream big because your dreams remind them of what they gave up on. You have been programmed, but you can be reprogrammed. You have been conditioned, but you can be reconditioned. Just because you have been thinking small does not mean you have to keep thinking small. You can make a decision right now, today, to reject that programming, to uninstall that software, to delete those limited beliefs that were downloaded into your mind without your permission. Think about a computer. If you install limiting software, the computer can only do what that software allows. But if you upgrade the software, suddenly that same computer can do things it could not do before. Your mind is the same way. You have been running on outdated, limiting software. Software that says, dream small, play it safe, don't take risks. But you have the power to upgrade. You have the power to install new beliefs, new visions, new possibilities. Before you are broke in your pocket, you are broke in your thinking. Before you are stuck in life, you are stuck in your imagination. You cannot rise above the level of your own vision for yourself. If you can only see yourself struggling, guess what you are going to keep doing? This is a hard truth, but you need to hear it. Poverty is a mindset before it is a bank account. Now, I am not saying that circumstances don't matter. I am not saying that systemic issues don't exist. What I am saying is that two people can be in the same circumstances and one will see opportunities while the other sees only obstacles. The difference is not their situation. The difference is their imagination. When your mind is limited, everything else in your life becomes limited. You limit your goals because you can't imagine achieving big things. You limit your relationships because you can't imagine someone of quality wanting to be with you. You limit your income because you can't imagine yourself making more. You limit your impact because you can't imagine yourself as someone significant. All these limitations start as thoughts, as beliefs, as failures of imagination. I have seen people with money who are still poverty-minded. They hoard. They worry. They operate from scarcity. And I have seen people with nothing who are wealth-minded. They give, they believe. They operate from abundance. What is the difference? Their imagination. One person imagines lack and attracts more lack. The other person imagines abundance and starts creating opportunities for abundance. Your imagination is either your prison or your passport. When you imagine yourself as limited, you build a prison in your mind. You put bars on your thinking. You lock yourself into a small cell of what you think is possible. And then you wonder why you feel trapped in life. You are trapped because you trapped yourself mentally first. Every limitation you experience externally exists because you accepted it internally. But when you imagine yourself as limitless, as capable, as destined for more, your imagination becomes a passport. It takes you places you have never been. It opens doors you did not know existed. It creates opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. But they are not coming out of nowhere. They are coming from the shift in your imagination. Here is what happens when you start imagining bigger. Your brain starts looking for evidence to support that new imagination. It starts noticing opportunities you were blind to before. It starts making connections you could not see. It starts giving you ideas and insights that lead to breakthroughs. But none of that happens when your imagination is stuck on limitation. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care if you are sleeping on somebody's couch. I don't care if you have $12 in your bank account. That is not where you are going to stay unless you accept it in your imagination. You've got to see yourself somewhere else before you can get somewhere else. Listen to me closely. Where you are right now is just a chapter. It is not the whole book. It is not even the ending. It is just where you happen to be at this moment in time, based on the decisions and circumstances that led you here. But this moment does not define your destiny unless you let it. This situation does not determine your future unless you accept it as permanent. The biggest mistake people make is looking at their current situation and saying, this is my life. No, this is your current circumstance. Your life is what you are building. Your life is where you are going. Your life is what you are imagining and creating. Don't confuse a temporary situation with a permanent identity. You might be broke today, but that does not make you a broke person. You might be struggling today, but that does not make you a struggling person. See, your situation is external, but your destination is internal. Your destination lives in your imagination. It lives in your vision. It lives in what you can see for yourself that does not exist yet. And as long as you can keep that vision alive, as long as you can keep imagining yourself somewhere different, you have not lost. The only time you lose is when you stop imagining better and accept worse. I know it is hard. I know when you are in a tough situation, it takes everything in you to imagine something better. Your circumstances are loud. They are in your face every day. The bills are real. The struggle is real. The stress is real. But you cannot let what is real right now kill what could be real in your future. You've got to hold both truths. Yes, this is where I am. But no, this is not where I am staying. Your imagination is your escape route. Not escape like running away from responsibility. Escape is like breaking out of limitation. Escape is like freeing yourself from a situation that is too small for your destiny. You imagine your way out before you walk your way out. You see yourself free before you become free. You envision yourself as successful before success shows up. Think about every person who ever rose above their circumstances. They all had one thing in common. They refused to let their current situation be their final destination. They were in the hood, but they imagined the penthouse. They were in debt, but they imagined wealth. They were unknown, but they imagined influence. And they held on to that imagination as their life depended on it, because it did. This is where most people quit. They share their vision and people laugh. Family members tell them it is impossible. Friends say they are being unrealistic. And because nobody else can see it, they stop believing in it themselves. But your vision was not given to them. It was given to you. Understand something about vision. It is personal. It is individual. It is custom designed for you. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, that source did not give your vision to your mama, did not give it to your best friend, did not give it to your coworkers, gave it to you. So why are you expecting them to understand it? Why are you expecting them to validate it? Why are you letting their inability to see it stop you from pursuing it? This is one of the greatest tests you will face on your journey. Can you believe in something that only you can see? Can you hold on to a vision when everybody around you thinks you are crazy? Can you keep imagining when all the evidence says it is not going to happen? This requires a different level of courage. It is easy to believe in something when everybody else believes in it too. But it takes real courage to stand alone in your belief. Here is what happens. You get excited about your vision. You share it with people you love and trust, and they hit you with all the reasons why it won't work. They are just trying to protect you, they say. They don't want you to be disappointed. They want you to be realistic. But what they are really doing is projecting their limitations onto your possibilities. They can't imagine it for themselves, so they can't imagine it for you either. And this is where you have to make a choice. Are you going to let their limitations become your limitations? Are you going to shrink your imagination to fit their comfort level? Are you going to kill your dream because they can't see it? Or are you going to have the courage to say, I appreciate your concern, but this vision is mine, and I am going after it with or without your support? Most people choose approval over vision. They would rather have people agree with them than achieve their dreams. They would rather fit in than stand out. They would rather be accepted by the crowd than be obedient to their calling. And that is why most people die with their dreams still in them. They let other people's lack of vision abort their imagination. But the ones who make it, the ones who actually live their dreams, they develop the courage to stand alone. They get comfortable with people thinking they are crazy. They stop needing permission. They stop needing validation. They trust their vision more. then they trust other people's opinions. And that courage, that willingness to believe when nobody else does, that is what separates dreamers from achievers. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them think you lost your mind. Every person who ever did anything significant looked crazy first. They looked crazy until they succeeded. Then everybody wanted to act as they believed in them all along. Here is a truth you need to accept right now. If your dreams don't make you look a little bit crazy to some people, they are not big enough. If everybody understands your vision, you are probably not stretching far enough. If nobody questions what you are doing, you are probably playing it too safe. The bigger your imagination, the crazier you are going to look to people who think small. Think about every major success story you know. Did people believe in them at first? No. They thought they were nuts. People thought Oprah was crazy for thinking she could have her own show. People thought Tyler Perry was crazy for thinking he could build a studio. People thought that the woman selling books out of her trunk would never make it. But they all had something in common. They were willing to look crazy in pursuit of their vision. The problem is, we are so worried about what people think. We are so concerned about our reputation. We are so afraid of looking foolish that we play it safe. We pursue dreams that are small enough that people won't laugh at us. We set goals that are reasonable that we won't look stupid if we fail. But you know what that gets you? A small, safe, boring, unfulfilled life. You've got to get to a place where you care more about your destiny than you care about people's opinions. You've got to value your vision more than you value their validation. You've got to be willing to be misunderstood for a season because you know that understanding will come when the manifestation shows up. Everybody wants to support you after you make it. But who is willing to look crazy while you are building it? Here is the thing about people who laugh at your dreams. They are not even living their own dreams. They are stuck. They are playing it safe. They are living below their potential. So why would you take advice from them? Why would you let their opinion matter more than your vision? They are spectators. They are sitting in the stands commenting on a game. They are too afraid to play. When you start pursuing your imagination with everything you got, some people are going to fall away. Some friends are going to distance themselves. Some family members are going to think you changed. And that is okay. You are not losing relationships. You are losing limitations. You are not losing friends. You are losing doubt. You are shedding the weight of people who were never supposed to go where you are going. You cannot just imagine something once and forget about it. You've got to feed that vision every single day. Read about it. Visualize it. Speak about it. Surround yourself with images of it. Your imagination is like a plant. You water it or it dies. Most people treat their imagination like a microwave. They want to imagine something once and have it show up instantly. But imagination does not work like that. It works like a garden. You plant the seed of the vision. Then you water it every single day. You pull the weeds of doubt. You protect it from the pests of negativity. You give it sunlight by speaking life over it. And eventually, in the right season, it produces fruit. But what do most people do? They imagine something on January 1st. They get all excited. They see the vision clearly. And then by January 15th, they have not thought about it again. They let the cares of life, the distractions, the doubts, they let all that choke out the vision. And then they wonder why nothing is happening. Nothing is happening because you stop feeding your imagination. You've got to be intentional about this. Every single morning when you wake up, you need to spend time in your imagination. See yourself where you are going. Visualize yourself doing what you were called to do. Picture yourself living the life you were designed to live. This is not optional. This is not just for people who have extra time. This is essential. If you are not feeding your imagination, you are starving your future. Read books about where you are trying to go.